to put you higher.
On yours?
Yeah. No, just in general, you need to be higher. Because I feel like I'm loud because I talk right here where I'm supposed to, and you talk from back here. So
I just don't want to make out with the mic.
you don't need to make out with the mic, bro. Just get closer.
Okay.
That's too
Is that better
loud.
for you?
No,
Okay.
you're the worst.
How do I tighten this? Oh, look at that.
The power of trying.
I'm going to
So-
do a little sonidito.
Yeah, but we gotta start it somehow.
Oh. Is this how we're going to start this
That's
episode?
exactly what you. That's what we're doing. Welcome back to the We Should Know This podcast. I'm your host, Soph,
I'm Anna.
and there are some things that we should know
That we don't know.
that we don't know that we should know.
That we should know.
So, this is episode 2 of season 2.
Of season 2. We finally made it to season 2. Yeah, we did. Yeah. Yeah. So we're finally going to start learning about things that we should know.
I'm Yuri Learning, and she is Yuri's Learning as well. So
If you're from Miami, you know.
Right. So for today, we are, trying something new. We're gonna be learning something,
Actually, we're teaching each other.
but we're learning as
Yes.
well.
Fine.
Burra. We're learning and teaching, so we're also learning patience and teaching patience. Okay.
You need to be patient with me.
Likewise.
I am patient with you.
Barely. Anyway, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
Wait, in teaching or learning?
There it is. I don't know, Anna. You decide.
Okay, so we both thought of 2 different things.
How's my hair?
I think your hair looks fine.
Is it fine?
Yes, it's fine.
Because I don't want to go a
promise.
whole episode like the last one to just
It's fine.
come out looking okay.
How's my hair?
Fine.
Okay.
All right.
Anyway, we have each chosen one thing or topic or whatever you want to call it
Right.
that we should know about, that we don't know necessarily about.
you don't know anything about.
So technically these 2 topics we learned in school, but either we just didn't care or weren't paying attention or just, cheated our way through high school.
That's right. I was waiting for you to get there. We definitely did that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mom, but it's too late now. And these are things that not necessarily that we, I guess, need in life, but like we should know this.
Yeah.
Like it's just a kind of like general knowledge type of stuff that we should kind of know.
Okay.
All right. So do you want to go first or do
I'll
I?
go first.
You teaching?
In teaching.
Got it. Perfect.
So tell the people, what do you want to learn about?
Well, today I
Or learn
wanna
more about.
I want to learn about, because I don't know anything about it.
I don't either.
About the Boston Tea Party. I don't know a hot thing about it. I thought it didn't have to do with tea because that's what things. I don't know what I assumed.
I always thought it had to do with tea, and then people told me no, it has to do with taxes. And then
there it is.
we're gonna learn about what it's about.
We're gonna figure it out because I know it's something about a boat and tea.
Oh yeah.
That's
there's
all
a
I
boat.
know.
Okay, so I literally just Googled Boston Tea Party and
I mean, I could have done the same and just learned about it, but I want you to teach me, Professor
Content.
Anna.
content. I was a teacher, okay?
I know, for like a hot second.
Okay, so I Googled Boston Tea Party and
Yeah.
I clicked on the first link,
Perfect. That's what I want.
which so happens to be Wikipedia.
Reliable source.
We're not so
Hope
sure
you
about
donated.
that.
Hope you donated.
Okay, so we're I'm gonna read a little bit or like the synopsis of it, and then we'll go from there. If you have any questions,
Oh, raise your hand.
I don't know anything about this either, so we're both learning.
We're both really learning.
Okay, so the Boston Tea Party was an American political and mercantile. Did I say that right?
Yeah, but so much. We're gonna learn how to read in the next episode.
Did I say that wrong?
I don't know. Press and hold it, and then have Siri speak it to you.
Well, how do you do that?
Press and hold and highlight the word.
I did.
What are the options? Copy, paste, and
No, because it's highlighted in blue because it has a link.
no manches.
Listen, if I said it wrong, I said it wrong. I'm sorry, Alex.
Or just anybody in general.
Yeah, but Alex is usually the one correcting our grammar and stuff.
No, but she's okay about like Well, grammar, yes, but reading and like saying things, it's fine.
I said
You
Yosemite.
You both said Yosemite, so that is never gonna go down. Guys, what is this update on Apple? Yosemite? Is it not Yosemite? Is it Yosemite? Get out of my face. So it's fine. So Alex is not going to judge you on this.
Okay.
I promise.
So listen, I don't know if I said it right or wrong. I'm gonna read it again.
Do it again.
The Boston Tea Party was an American political and mercantile protest on December 16, 1773 by the Sons of Liberty in Boston in colonial Massachusetts. The target was the Tea Act of May 10th, 1773, which allowed the British East India Company to sell tea. It has to do with tea.
I made it.
From China in American colonies without paying taxes apart from those imposed by the Townshend Acts.
What? ¿Qué dijo?
The target was the Tea Act,
Okay.
which allowed the British East India Company to sell tea from China in American colonies without paying taxes.
Got it.
So you're, whatever.
Kind of like every small shop on the planet. Got it.
The Sons of Liberty strongly opposed the taxes in the Townshend Act as a violation of their rights. In response, the Sons of Liberty, some disguised as Native Americans, destroyed an entire shipment of tea sent by the East India Company. Here's where the boat comes in.
Oh, there it is.
So far we know it does have to do with tea and it does have to do with taxes.
Perfect. I think we were right. We're going to mark that as right.
Okay. Then it says the demonstrators boarded the ships and threw the chests, chests of tea into the Boston Harbor.
Here's my question. Was it loose leaf or was it like already packaged? Because that's important.
I don't think they specify.
Salty tea.
Well, we don't know if the Boston Harbor was
salt water.
Yeah. I don't know exactly what is a harbor.
We're just proving that we're idiots.
Yeah.
I don't know either.
Okay.
Isn't a harbor where the boats come in? But
yeah, like a marina.
Like a port?
Here it's a marina. In like other places, yeah, like a port.
Yeah. Okay, so it's like a port. Port of Miami.
I guess. I don't know. If we're wrong, let
shout
us know
out
in the
Rick
comments.
Ross. Port of Miami.
Hey, Rick Ross.
He doesn't listen.
The British government considered the protest an act of treason and responded harshly. The episode escalated into the American Revolution, becoming an iconic event in American history. Since then, other political protests, such as the Tea Party movement, have referred to themselves as historical successors to the Boston protest of 1773.
Wow.
I mean, there's still more. But like, I don't want to bore the people.
Y'all could Google it too.
Yeah. I'm sure that some of our readers know what this is about.
Yeah. We're the only ones. I guess. So it had to do with tea. People got mad because they wanted to tax them for it, and then they yeeted it off a boat. Mm-hmm. And then what happened? Was it not like pollution? Is that pollution?
I guess.
Is that considered pollution? Well, here's the thing. It's a natural herb, so it can't be really pollution. Yeah. It's not plant. That's why I asked if it was loose leaf.
It doesn't specify that here.
Was it
It does go on to say...
was it Twinings tea from Epcot?
No. It says colonists objected to the Tea Act, believing it violated their rights as Englishmen to, quote, no taxation without representation, end quote. That is, to be taxed only by their own elected representatives and not by a parliament in which they were not represented.
Got it.
It's kind of making sense to me now.
All right.
Are you understanding?
Barely. But it's fine. I get it so far.
So they only wanted to be taxed from people who represented them, not the East Indian, which didn't.
Okay.
That's what I'm getting.
I mean, if it's wrong, it's wrong, but I'm going to believe the whole thing.
Yeah. The well-connected East India Company also had been granted competitive advantages over colonial tea importers who represented the move and feared additional infringement of their business. To end this part, the Boston Tea Party was a significant event that helped accelerate and intensify colonial support for the American Revolution. Parliament. But there's an I there. It's silent.
It is.
Okay. Parliament responded in 1774 with the Intolerable Acts or Coercive Acts, which, among other provisions, ended local self-government in Massachusetts and closed Boston's commerce. Colonists up and down the 13 colonies in turn responded to the Intolerable Acts with additional acts of protest, and by convening the First Continental Congress in Philadelphia, which petitioned the British monarch for repeal of the acts and coordinated colonial resistance to them. The crisis escalated, leading to the battles of Lexington and Concord
I've
in
heard of
1775, which marked the beginning of the American Revolutionary War.
I heard about that too. I don't know anything about it, but yeah.
So I guess the Boston Tea Party started the whole American Revolutionary War.
Wow, what a problem! Who would have
Yeah.
thought a little cuppa would be a problem? A cup of tea. Hello.
I really thought it had nothing to do with tea. At least that's what I was told.
No, I know it had to
But
do with tea.
turns
But that
out
was
it
about
does.
it. Yeah,
Tea and taxes.
all because my gosh, everybody's so selfish.
Yeah. Hicieron a big deal por gusto.
See, un tecito.
Yeah.
Wonder what kind of tea it was.
I don't know. It doesn't say. Or maybe Google.
Earl Grey,
Okay.
Lady Grey.
What type of tea
Was involved in the Boston tea? Was it black tea? It
involved
was a green tea.
in the Boston Tea Party?
Also, did anybody pick that up?
What?
The tea.
It was all loose tea
There it is.
because the colonists had no taste for tea bricks, and tea bags were still 150 years in the future.
Oh my god! It took you 150 years to figure out to just put them in a bag.
So it doesn't say what. Oh wait, just kidding. Says that the says the 3 tea ships contain 240 chests of bohea, 15 of kongu, 10 of sochang. They're all black teas.
Ah, mira, just black tea.
60 of singlo, and 15 of hyson, and they're both green teas. So it was black tea and green tea, and it was all loose.
So them fish were hype.
Yeah,
Los corazones just popped out of their chest at that point.
sure.
Listen, black tea has caffeine, and green tea
I believe
also
you.
has caffeine.
I believe you.
Que pena in loose leaf.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely biodegradable.
It was a total of 342 chests of tea.
First of all, the manpower. Because I'm assuming that's going to be a little heavy. Although if it's a loose leaf, then maybe not.
Google also asked, somebody asked, was Twining's tea thrown in Boston
That's
Harbor?
a good question. That's what I asked.
The Boston Tea Party dumped English tea in the harbor to protest against the British imposing taxation without representation.
So it was Twinings.
Twining's tea was being sold to America, and the governor of Boston was a loyal customer.
Wow. Twinings, how
Cool.
could you? Twinings, how could you?
Okay, so like I kind of know like a little bit, even though this was your teaching.
Well, good for you.
Do you know a little bit better now about the Boston Tea Party?
I do.
So like if somebody asked you like what kind of tea was in the Boston Tea Party?
Ask my sister. She knows everything.
Oh, come on.
I'm just kidding. No, I know a
Black
little
tea,
bit.
green tea, and it was loose tea.
That's right.
And there was Twinings tea involved somehow.
Twinings, how could you? Next time I go to Epcot, I'm going to just throw a box.
Actually, the Twinings tea thing was being sold in America, but
Right.
it says in 1749. This all started in 1773. So it was like
Okay, so
30
it's
years
before.
later.
The Boston Tea Party happened later.
About 30 years later,
I mean,
more or less.
Okay, fine. So we're not super mad, but
Was it 30?
I don't know. 40, 30. No, 40,
Yes.
70, 30. Yeah.
Yeah. More or less
3.
30.
Got it.
This is going to lead us into our next topic.
Yeah.
'Cause we're trying to do
House,
math.
right? Oh,
Math.
barely. But yeah. Wow. So now I do know a little bit
Yeah.
more about the Boston Tea Party. Now I know if somebody were to ask me, I can just send them to you.
Or if someone asks, like, do you know what the Boston Tea Party? Yes, I do know what it means.
Right. Because it was the beginning of the Revolutionary War. Doesn't that sound smart? I sound smart. Whatever. From the battles of Lexington and Concord.
Yeah.
I'm going to forget tomorrow.
So now that we were trying to do math, it kind of leads into like my
That's right.
topic of one.
So now it's my turn to teach.
So we learned this in school, obviously, but like I wasn't good at it, or I was good at it, but I didn't care for it. and it was the subject of geometry.
That's right.
So I want to learn and I want to know, like, what geometry is useful for, at least, like, for the common person.
Okay. And I will teach you.
Okay, Professor Soap.
So I Googled,
Got it.
why is geometry important? Okay. So here is from the website Quora.com.
Okay.
I don't know if that's resourceful or not, or like good or not, whatever. It's somebody who answered. The concept of space is a very natural idea that comes up when we begin to understand the world. So geometry has to do with space.
Okay.
Shapes and space. Okay.
Definitely shapes.
Shapes and spaces.
Okay.
Okay. Let me see. We're gonna skip a bunch of this. Geometry is the study of local and global properties of spaces. We begin the study with simple models with concepts of points, lines, shapes, and lengths. Right. Width times height equals,
Mm-hmm.
and that creates your shape. I'm going slow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
cool.
trying to think, because I know that Dennis technically uses this all the
That's
time
right.
because it's part of his job.
His business.
But
that's
he's
right.
good at this. He loves math. He's good at that.
It's
I
weird.
0.
Same.
Ironically, I
same.
work at a bank though, and I need to use
Oh,
math
that's
every day.
important, Hannah. You should.
But I use simple
Maybe
math.
do your boss watch this? No, right?
No,
Oh,
I
good.
use simple math though.
Oh, good. Abstract structures defined purely algebraically trend. I don't know what this is. There are geometric properties that do not depend on coordinates and fields and all these things. This is a terrible website.
Yeah, I was just gonna
So
say that.
we're gonna go to the next one.
Because
These are 10 shocking reasons why geometry is very important
Oh, okay.
in life.
Okay.
Number one is spatial understanding. To be able to understand the wonder of the world's shapes and appreciate them, we need to be able to understand or have knowledge of spatial use. In other words, the areas related to space and the position, size, and shape of the things in it. So you live in a house and this room is square, and then in that square you have 1, 2, 3, 4 squares, and then 5.
Got it.
Spatial understanding. So I know that in one square I can fit about 15 squares.
I still don't find that as like important for me to know in life, but
Okay, we're gonna continue.
that's just 1 out of 10.
Numbers and measurements. That's another reason. We know how to apply and understand the relationship between shapes and sizes. We will be, once we know how to better apply understand. What did I say? How when we know how to apply and understand the relationship between shapes and sizes, we will be better prepared to use them for our everyday lives. Geometry will assist us in doing that because it provides the knowledge of how to deal with measurements and relationships between lines, angles, surfaces, and solids. Like I said, interior decorating.
Yeah, I get it for like those type of like careers, or like Dennis's job, or like, you know, like Jenny who does interior design. But like, what do I need? What is it useful for me? Like,
Well, you decorated this house. You wouldn't have known that.
sure,
Here is not going to fit a round couch, a round chair.
I wouldn't buy that, but okay.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying.
I get
you use
it.
it every day. Pareciden, you know?
Yeah.
All right. Visual ability. Some people think in shapes and sizes. Others think in visual abilities. When visualizing, we need the understanding of geometry to be able to do that. Your imagination is like an untapped source of objects that need to come together in a bigger picture.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, it says here some people see shapes and sizes, and other people are visual people. Like a long couch would be great there. Other people are like, that's a square
That
couch.
yeah, that I understand, at least with the shape of this.
Well, there
house.
you go. You're thinking about a parking spot. Am I going to fit? Am I not going to fit? Spatial,
Yeah.
visual abilities, understandings. All right. In the workplace, many different specific and technological fields require knowledge of geometry, especially in the more advanced and specialized study fields. The use and knowledge of geometry is essential to excelling. like interior design, what dentists does, a lot of architects, contractors, people like that. They need geometry in everyday life.
But it's still not like. What does the average person need geometry for, other than what the first couple ones that you said, like understanding spatial
abilities, visual abilities,
and
spatial understanding.
Spatial understanding.
Well, yeah,
I guess that's the most like common or like the most like necessary thing.
Okay, so the next one is full use of brain capacity. Geometry helps you to bring together both sides of your brain. In other words, not just to be a left brain thinker, but also to be a right brain thinker.
I didn't know that we think with different sides of our brain.
Yeah, one side is super artistic and the other side is super mathematical.
But technically, geometry is both mathematical and artistic.
That's what it's telling you to not just lean on both.
Oh, okay. That one at least makes sense.
All right. The left brain is more logical, technical field, whereas the right brain is the part of the visuals. The part that visualizes and when the artist gets their creative inspiration from.
Okay.
Yeah. Not many people have the ability to make the two connect and work together as one. Geometry will assist you to do that. So I'm thinking of a square, but I'm also thinking about a canvas. I'm thinking about a circle, but I'm also thinking about a ball. You know what I mean? Like everyday things, Anna.
I guess.
All right. Creative use of geometry.
Oh my God.
First of all, that weapon of choice.
It's a cup.
It's a very cute cup, but
Thanks.
you can knock someone out with it. I think that's what girls have moved on to now. Instead of carrying like a knife. Yeah.
Maybe.
Just use your Stanley.
This is not a Stanley.
Sorry, a simple modern.
Yeah.
Okay. Creative use of geometry. Think of geniuses that created man-made wonders. They all
like the wonders of the seven wonders of the world.
Mm-hmm. They all made use of geometry to be able to construct and make their creative thinking come to life. Without the use of geometry, it would have only stayed ideas and dreams. The same with architects that design buildings with interesting shapes and sizes. Today's architects are very creative in their thinking. See? The next one is 3D thinking. 2 and 3
I can barely think in like one dimension.
Bro, shut up. That's impossible.
Think in 3D?
Yeah.
No.
Just think of something in
like
3D.
What? A box?
Yeah. You tell me, when you think of a box, you just think of a square like this. You don't think of a cube with dimensions.
Well, obviously, yes.
But that's what I'm saying. Okay. 3D thinking. 2 and 3D three-dimensional shapes are originated in geometry. Is that a police?
Maybe.
Whatever. The use of triangles and other shapes strongly influence this. In the fields of television, movies, and even little things like puzzles or books are all influenced by geometry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The next one is preparation. Preparation. Geometry is a good training ground for students to make use of concrete materials and activities. Those same experiments now will become stepping stones later in life. It will prepare you to use many different types of materials and textures together in fluent harmony.
Okay. Like different shapes and like the same like space. Well, there's a lot of square things here.
A lot of square things, but look, there's a round thing there. There's a hexagon there.
Is that a hexagon?
I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4.
There's rectangular. There's square. There's
a rhombus. I taught Matthew a rhombus.
Or cylinder.
A cylinder.
There's one behind you.
A trapezoid.
That could be a trapezoid.
For sure. A prism. It's like that guy from Euphoria that I call him a prism because that's what he looks like.
The guy from Euphoria?
Yeah.
Which Nate Jacobs?
Nate Jacobs. He looks like a prism. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. If you think about his face and his nose, like if you just close your eyes and think about his whole jawline, he looks like a prism, like sharp. He looks like Phineas from Phineas and Ferb.
Oh, yeah.
Orange
for
head.
Sure.
The orange hair guy.
I think it's his nose
100%.
and his jaw.
Phineas.
Yeah, but Phineas is
Like triangle. Yep, he is a whole triangle. He's a prism.
Okay.
Right. Let's see. The other one is wider horizons. By applying geometry, students learn to think outside the box. The same solutions can be applied to many other areas in your life. For instance, when you study the different population groups. Who studies that?
I don't know.
Not me. Next, thinking skills. This is where you're going to use geometry. When you learn to use geometry, you also learn to think logical.
I think I'm pretty logical, for the most part.
All right. We're going to hold you to that. This is very important in everyday life to think logically. Yes.
Yeah.
As not everything is easy and understandable. When thinking logically, many difficult problems can be erased and simple solutions can be found. To reason logically is one thing that you learn in geometry.
Okay.
Yeah. It is a part of your daily life, whether you watch television or make a drawing. It is part and parcel to you.
I only know that I'm somewhat logical through people telling me, "Wow, you think logically."
Right.
But like as myself, like
I mean,
I wouldn't be able to tell.
Yes, because that's if it comes naturally to you, it's not one of those things that you're like, oh, I'm so logical.
Obviously,
I know people who are not logical one bit, and they know that they're not logical. Like, wow, I could have just gone this way.
it's just you work harder instead of smarter.
Right. I think that's where kind of plays the part of geometry.
Yeah.
Because in geometry, you have to think smarter, not hard. Sometimes it's the simplest shape, and you're just like, I'm going to overcomplicate this.
Yeah. I think that's why I hated geometry. I ended up being good at it, but it's just I overthought the whole process of how to get to the answer.
Well, there you go.
But ask me how to do anything in geometry right now. No. Other than like maybe like measuring like shapes and size, like the simple part.
Right. Yeah. It says also here, also in the construction of buildings, dams, rivers, roads, temples, etc. For ages, geometry has been exceptionally used to make temples and stuff like that to hold the heritage of our countries.
Lovely.
So, mostly with buildings and mostly with...
Yeah, with architectural stuff.
Yeah. And then like space... understanding what we said.
I think
understanding.
I think the most like common or more useful for like the average person would be to help you think in like use both parts of your brain.
For sure.
And what was the other one?
Spatial understanding.
No. It was closer to the end. Yeah, I was like, okay, that one's more for
3D thinking, preparation, wider horizons, creative use of geometry, the full brain use or
full brain use
in the workspace, visual ability. Yeah. Numbers and measurements, spatial understanding.
I think it was the visual one.
Oh, am I boring you?
No.
Must have been such a boring class. Disgusting.
Geometry is boring.
Okay,
general.
but like you learn
I'm not saying
something.
you are boring. I'm saying geometry itself is boring. Also, I didn't sleep well last night, so I'm tired.
Okay. You can also use geometry in the measurement of the line and surface area of a land.
Okay.
Wrapping gifts.
I don't really use geometry for that.
Well, because you use bags.
I use visual, like understanding of geometry and stuff.
Well, geometry.
Or bags.
Right.
Because that's the easy way.
Filling a box. When you go to fill a box, meeting.
I do use
Operation
that.
Christmas
I make sure
Child.
that it's like a Tetris thing.
It's the different shapes used in boards and signs, road signs and road rules.
Yeah,
it's all geometry for everyday life.
I guess.
Okay.
I guess that's the little bit that geometry is useful for the average person.
For the average person, right? Because if you're like a mathematician, then all right, fine.
Yeah, a mathematician or an architect or someone
Dennis.
in interior design or someone like Dennis who does awnings for a living.
Right. He's going to need geometry for
He
that.
needs geometry forever. But luckily, he's good at it and he likes it.
Well, there you go. That is your lesson or life lesson on geometry. And
Well, I
is
did
it
learn
used-
something new because I didn't know that we.
Now, when
use-
somebody asks you, hey, how's geometry? Why is geometry so important? Oh, my God.
Well, mostly because geometry is useful. I apologize if you guys hear
You
screaming.
hear the screaming.
It's Mateo.
He's having a great time.
Because of that, the whole visual, like playing Tetris with putting the boxes together.
That's right.
Or to be able to, one side of your brain is mathematical, the other side of your brain is creative. To be able to use both.
That's right.
That is what I will answer. The rest, as Soph or as Dennis.
As Soph or Dennis.
Yeah.
We love it. So I think we learned something today that we should have known.
Technically, we did learn these things. Technically.
But like not the geometry thing. She taught us because we needed to learn that for the
Yeah,
test.
but like we did good. We passed the class.
Absolutely. That we didn't cheat.
But you couldn't.
No, you couldn't.
But I've always thought of it like, what is this for? Like, why do it? What is
does
it?
it
What am I
matter?
going to use this for in like everyday life? Or same thing with like chemistry. Like unless you're like an artist who like, for example, a hairstylist. Rachel needs to know chemistry and chemicals and like math in order to like make sure she mixes the right stuff.
That's true, because now she's just gonna fry your hair.
Yeah, but she doesn't do that.
She doesn't do it because she's a professional. She knows what she's saying.
Yeah, and she's great.
Good for her. Shout out Rachel.
Shout out Rachel.
Well, good. And then I learned about the Boston Tea Party because I just always wanted to know about it. Like actually know about it.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
just-
it does come out in our paces, but
It does, but I was
We
not paying
don't-
attention.
no.
No. I remember the.
I'm sure this
Livingston
is
and the
also in
Concord.
like our middle school paces.
Probably. I mean, it could be. Yeah, could be, or the other ones, not high school, junior high.
Yeah,
I don't know
maybe.
because I was in all three my last year. It was definitely in all
That's
three.
true.
So wonderful.
Wonderful. We
This is
learned
lovely.
something new.
We hope you like this dynamic. It will happen again.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for next episode.
Next episode, we have a guest coming.
That's right. We have a special guest.
But yeah, we have a special guest coming next week.
That's right. So if you want to find out who it is, be sure to pay attention to our social media, put on the little bell notification, like, subscribe, stay tuned, comment.
Yeah. And if remember, if you guys have anything that you guys think that we should know,
That's
like
right.
maybe there's something you know about and you think other people should know about, let us know in the comments.
Go ahead and let us know.
That might be one of our topics for one of our episodes.
That's right. Because if we should know it, then we should say it.
yeah.
Anyway, have
But
a
yeah.
wonderful evening. Is it an evening? Have a wonderful whatever, wherever you're listening to this.
It's evening for us.
It's evening for us. So have a wonderful rest of your day.
Bye.